For everyone in the webinar at the moment who's currently joining, if you want to type in where you're joining in from, we can see who's joining in from the furthest away. It's normally a fun game to play. They normally win. We probably don't have any prizes to give out, but I guess you'll win with the distance you are far away. Excellent, we're working. And the first one is from California. Good start. That's quite near to you, isn't it, Demetrius?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wichita, yep. Raleigh, nice. Karthik, that's a pretty cool one. London, close to me, thank you. I've got some UK people listening in. Yep, London, brilliant. Brighton, that's a nice different one. Cambridge. Phoenix, brilliant. Oh, okay. Well, looks like we're quite well spread. Looks like we've got the US and the UK covered. Anyone from outside of those regions that's signing in? Be a bit of a challenge.
Canada.
Yeah, we'll say Canada counts as outside of the US. Wonderful. India, there we go. Perfect. That's a good far away one. I reckon they win on distance there with India. That's the current winner, I'd say. Wonderful. Well, enough of me with the pleasantries anyway. It's a pleasure to see everyone today. Today we're here to talk to xAmplify about their latest enhancements and the integration they've built with Halo PSA, a very exciting one. I'm here with Kusum, Demetrius, and Bridget on the session there. Say hi, guys.
How are we doing?
Yes, we feel.
Wonderful. Just want to put everyone on the spot. Now, just with that, the first thing we're going to start off with, just to get the Halo side of things out of the way, is just a couple of updates and announcements that are going on with Halo PSA that I'm going to share with you guys. It's a very short couple of minutes just on some updates my side. And then after that, we're going to move over to what's new with xAmplify, the exciting latest enhancements and offerings to the integration, and also how it currently works with a live demonstration as well. So quite a cool improvement with Halo PSA at the moment is we've been mentioned on Gartner Peer Insights, and as you can see, we've been very well received in the market there with Gartner too, mainly towards the ITSM showing, which is quite exciting. Alongside that with Gartner too, we're actually the first PSA that's shown up on their Magic Quadrant for advancements within AI, and we're the only PSA in the market on this Magic Quadrant as well, which is quite exciting. Up there with Fresh, ServiceNow, and all those other big players. And lastly, as an announcement with Halo as well, we also have now partnered with DXC, one of the global service integrators out there. The world's #1 ServiceNow integrator partner is partnering with Halo PSA now for implementations, which is a very exciting development moving forwards as well. But as I mentioned there, I was keeping my development short but sweet, as we're going to move over to the xAmplify side of things. And I believe Demetrius is going to take us into what's new with xAmplify, and I'll pass the screen over to you guys.
Yeah. So what's new with xAmplify is, outside of having a platform that is able to facilitate growth, through channel marketing automation, vendor management, we really doubled down over the last year and a half or so from a development standpoint, to really develop a space within our platform that is MSP centric. So we really thought about the various use cases of an MSP, and we built tools around those use cases in order to, help facilitate them with their growth, market entry, and market sustainability, and overall, help them be more efficient and effective in the marketplace.
Excellent. Yeah, and it's quite exciting as well. I mean, with kind of the selling your services side of things is quite a hard thing to do in the MSP industry, as we all know. And it is very important to have a solution such as yours to effectively automate that and make it a lot more simplistic.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, one of the premises that we lead with is, well, it's not really a premise. It's more of like a culture. Is when working with any counterparty, we lead with service first, right? How can we help you? How can we make your work experience, your life better? How can we be of service to you? And we take that feedback and we built out relationships, integrations, and tools that help facilitate those very needs and those things they're looking for in order to make their day-to-day a lot better, out there going to, whether they're looking for prospects or managing, vendors or customers. And, and on that point, that's what led us to integrate with Halo PSA. And at this point, I think it's a really good point to have Bridget kind of talk high level about what the integration looks like, and how it helps them, with their ease and day-to-day life with working with Halo PSA and xAmplify.
Of course, yeah. Passing over to Bridget there, put you on the spot.
Yes. Okay, so we are going to start out first. I'm just going to show you the very simple process, at least the general kind of idea behind the process for how this integration gets set up. Very straightforward. Just you need to generate a new API key through your Halo portal, and then you'll enter the client ID, secret ID, and your actual Halo instance URL here, authorize it, and log into your Halo account, and that will you'll be able to see everything in both portals. But now for the actual process of how this would be useful for you guys with what you're currently doing in Halo, aligning with our campaigns and leads and deals that are registered in the xAmplify platform. So what we have here is the deal registration or lead registration form. This can be customized based on whatever criteria you guys have for yourself. Any forms, any fields that you guys want to include here, all of that can be customized, as well as those fields can actually be pulled from your Halo PSA instance. So anything that you already created, you can just reuse here and not have to go through that process of creating it again. So we're just going to go create a test lead here. I'll use myself for example. And so upon adding this lead, this is now going to be visible both within the actual xAmplify portal, as we will see once this loads. So right here, you now see this top lead is the one I just added. When we also go over to the Halo portal now, we'll also see here at the top that that lead has now been reflected in the Halo portal as well. So going back to the xAmplify portal, as you can see, there is this register deal button here. Clicking on that, we'll pull up now the deal registration form. Same thing with the lead form. All of this can be customized based on what you guys have in Halo, any fields, any question that you want, any information that you guys want to be included when a deal is registered. All of that can be customized here. And so now we're just going to go put in the summary, potential value, and again, all of this is customizable. So these are just some kind of generic questions here that we have set up. And then we're also going to pick the target date, close date, and then upon registering this, we'll now be able to see this is going to show up both in the deal managing section in the xAmplify portal. So what you are about to see right now, and then also upon going over to Halo and seeing the sales, we now see the Bridget Telecom deal has now been put here as well. So now as we come here, we can see that this deal so the lead I converted into the deal in the xAmplify portal is now showing up here in the Halo portal as in our sales section. So clicking on this will allow us, we can see here all of the contact info, all those fields that were filled out when we registered it in xAmplify, as well as scrolling down here, we'll also be able to see the user information and who actually registered this in the xAmplify portal. So even if you have a user using something, registering it in there that's not part of your Halo instance, you'll still have that information tracked here. And that's pretty much a high level overview of everything as well. Information here. So you can see this one was not registered because of a campaign, but if you send out any marketing campaigns here, and that's because why this lead ended up getting registered, this deal ended up getting created, that information will also be stored here, which allows you to track basically how well are these campaigns doing, how many leads am I generating from this, which ones should I be sending out more, which ones have not been as effective, and really doing that data-driven decision making. But that is pretty much the high overview of this whole system and the integration between the xAmplify and Halo PSA. Thanks.
Which really brings me to just to dive into the conversation a little more. Over the years, I've really talked to a lot of people around, what is the greatest issue in the channel, right? When you're working with channel partners and partners, you have partner programs. And a lot of it is comes down to not necessarily efficiency, but effectiveness. There seems to be a very low close rate when you're working with partners in some instances, just because of a lack of visibility, transparency, especially if a large partner program and you're a highly visible supplier/vendor. So from the partner's perspective, not from the partner's perspective, but the conversation is, has usually been, well, maybe it's their sales, maybe it's their marketing, right? And I think that's kind of a misconception what I do believe is that it's not that MSPs, they don't have sales or marketing acumen, because at the end of the day, we're not curing cancer here. We're picking up, we're having conversations, right? We're sending emails, right? We're being responsive, right? And we're documenting in real time the development of that relationship. With that being said, what we've uncovered was there is a paucity, a lack of tools and applications that are specifically designed for MSPs. So at xAmplify, we took it upon ourselves, and we took it to heart, having heard these conversations over the years, to really build out a host of tools within the platform that are specifically designed for the MSP market, right? That take into consideration their day-to-day activities and help them with being more effective, and efficient in the marketplace, starting with sales and marketing automation, right? So we get into our platform, and as an MSP, you can directly market to a host of your prospects, all while also too, right, sending collateral to your host of vendors that you work with very closely. In real time, what that gives you is, it gives you, especially with ChatGPT integrated into our platform, it gives you the ability to be really quick to enter the market, but also very quick to, hey, respond back to a supplier or a vendor if there's a client or a customer that's interested with, hey, I've been doing all this marketing efforts, send them reporting after NDF funds, while in the process too of pushing a deal forward. But most importantly, getting consideration for your efforts, right? For example, if I'm out here marketing on behalf of a partner or a friend, I want to know that those efforts are worth something and they're valued to some extent, right? So what we do also within the platform is we do provide reporting, MDF reporting, for the partners to be able to push back to the vendor/suppliers in real time in order to document and illustrate their various marketing efforts week in and week out, in hopes that vendor or supplier, can provide them some consideration for their efforts.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So I guess because relationships, are so important between vendors and suppliers, how can this functionality tie to develop stronger relationships between the two?
Great question, right? So the platform there's another element to the platform, which is a vendor portal, right? A vendor instance. And within that vendor instance, right, they can upload their collateral, they can market through their partners, co-branded, or just market collateral to their partners for enabling them, or even they can host training sessions within the platform for their partners. So from the partner's perspective, they're able to link with their vendor within one instance, co-market, co-brand, go to market with them, share a pipeline with them, share with them real-time metrics and analytics on what they're doing, also provide them reporting in real time on their activities, right? And in the same instance, request for MDF funds, all in one go. So it really gives the partner one place, a one-stop shop to go to manage everything sales and marketing related, right? As it relates to their day-to-day business. They're, in fact, I always look at partners as being an extension, right, of their supplier or their vendors, sales and marketing operations. So why shouldn't they have the same sort of tools and applications that you would see internally in a larger corporation? And what we've done is we've distilled our platform down to do just that, being an extension of a traditional sales and marketing operation for our partner.
Okay. I can also see a couple of questions have arisen from the crowd. The first one was from Michael asking if this is something that can replace Glasshive possibly. Is Glasshive like the market that you're in at the moment, or?
Yeah, so Glasshive, is my understanding, is a direct marketing automation tool for and for that operates in the MSP market. That is a tool. Let me make this distinction. Great branding. I like what they're doing over there at Glasshive, but we're not a tool, we're a platform. So within our platform, we have a host of other applications that serve the ecosystem of the channel world. For example, I'm not going to go into depth, but we have a functionality, a module called Landscapes, where partners can, create landing pages for if they wanted to, but they can create landing pages for their vendors, right? Market those at scale, create landing pages for events, market those at scale, all while requests for NDF funds. So it's a platform where a host of parties are able to participate, aggregators, vendors, partners, right? It's
Right.
an ecosystem. It's a platform designed for an ecosystem. It's not a tool. So when you're inside that platform as well, right? When you're inside xAmplify, you also have access to getting introduced to net new vendors who are very active in recruiting net new partners.
Mm.
You may be
Okay.
working with a host of vendors and it may be really competitive, but there may be a segment of vendors within the platform who are looking to grow their program and need active partners. And we can facilitate that introduction and we can help you with developing your business around that from that perspective. That's where we kind of differ. That GlassHive is a direct marketing automation tool. We are a platform designed for the channel ecosystem.
Fantastic. It's brilliantly answered as well. And also another question as well. One other question here from Nick Warren, one of the members of our tech tribe from the UK. How well is the UK supported by the vendors within your platform?
Oh, we're global.
Mm.
So we have customers and clients all over the world. So yeah, in Asia, a lot in Asia. So yeah, we're even So no, not a problem. We can support people in the UK. We speak English.
Oh, you could have fooled me. Wonderful. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned obviously with obviously you got deals reaching certain pipeline stages. I guess how is it managed internally across like pre-existing systems and reflected in like, you know, the user CRM, for example?
Yeah, beautiful question. So we do have a bi-directional CRM integration. So whatever CRM you're using, whatever other tools you're using, once you link with xAmplify, it communicates back and forth in real time. So if you put something in xAmplify, if you integrate with your CRM, it will push to your CRM. You'll have it there in that instance. If you have something in your CRM, we can push it back into xAmplify, so it will be there in real time as well.
Okay. Wow, incredible. There's a lot going on. Because obviously with Halo, I mean, we cover a whole lot of bases with the system. I'd say marketing is where we would fall, you know, a little bit flat in comparison to tools such as this. So it is great to see integrations with tools that do cover the areas that we are falling flat. I mean, you can send out email sequences from Halo, for example, and that is nice email templates, but the level of automation you've got on hold here is quite impressive and probably very useful as well for selling services.
Mhm.
But yeah, sorry, enough about me. Back onto you guys.
So yeah, so in addition to having that bi-directional CRM integration, being able to communicate across systems within your particular business org's silo, because sometimes within your silo you're using a multitude of tools for different reasons, right? Our platform very easy to integrate with a host of different applications and tools, but from a CRM perspective, there is that back and forth communication that is facilitated with automation. In addition, sometimes, as a partner, as an MSP, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So you got to work with a multitude of vendors, right? In our instance, you're also to able manage a multitude of vendors within the platform, right? Which gives you really great efficiency, effectiveness, and speed with getting deals done when working with a prospect or a potential client. Because within the platform, if you're working with a multitude of vendors, you can source collateral, you can work with these multitude of vendors in real time, right? Identify the best suit, the best solution, the best tech match for that particular end customer and client, and get that over to them within a matter of seconds.
Yeah, brilliant. We have another question in the group chat as well. Very popular today from Daniel asking, how do the marketing tools, the other ones in the market, compare to those of, how do the marketing tools within xAmplify compare to those of HubSpot, email campaigns, social media posting, reporting? Would xAmplify, I guess, replace something like HubSpot, or would it augment it?
That's a really good question. And it really depends on, I would say this, like I said, when you're doing sales and marketing automation, right, you're not curing cancer. It's, a lot of them, you're like 5 or 6 clicks away from getting your information to the masses. What we sought to do, like I said, was build a platform that addresses the needs of the ecosystem, right? So when you're working within a channel dynamic, where you're working with a host of vendors and a host of partners or a host of customers, it's nice to have one instance so you have all of your information in one area, in one place. Why is that? Because you're able to manage your data better. You're able to get analytics into insights into the world that you actually work and operate in. With HubSpot, it's just, it's one way, it's one directional. You just market to your people. Here, you're able to manage the ecosystem that you live and work in and breathe in, right? And you're able to capture real-time data analytics about your activity, which for me, I have this saying, what doesn't get measured doesn't get managed, right? So you're able to manage your behaviors and focus in on what matters and what doesn't. For example, if you notice that one vendor is very active, always to need collateral, great, that's a really good relationship. You want to double down with that. If there's a vendor that you're working with that's kind of been inactive, kind of hard to work with, you may want to double down and try to put in some effort in developing a better relationship with them. Everyone wants to close deals, right? everyone wants to close deals. Everyone wants to close, right? But sometimes the relationships are the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Showing that you're there to be of service is everything. And like I said, that's one of the premises of our culture here at xAmplify is how can we be of service, right? And those analytics and those data points will give you insight into what's working for you, what's not, where you need to develop your energy to develop better relationships, but most importantly too, pattern recognition, right? Where do I need to double down because what's really working?
Interesting. So I guess with the reporting aspects, how do you do you manage anything relating to marketing development funds at all within xAmplify or?
Yeah. So like within the platform,
Yeah, I
let's
can
oh, go ahead.
address, yeah. So first, Daniel, to address to part of your question about the marketing tools, actually, for email, social, all of that, we do have available in the platform. So like Dee was mentioning, the difference with HubSpot is it's a single, you're accessing it with your company. If you're working with a vendor, the vendor doesn't have visibility. What we provide with our platform is giving you the ability where you can see things that maybe your vendor has in their CRM and see it in one place, as well as you can share things from yours without actually having to give that access to someone who's not part of your actual company. And then in terms of your second question with the tools for dynamic email lists, all of that information that you have in your Halo, we can customize and do a little building with the APIs to actually pull that in so that when you are sending out those emails, being able to have that all segmented based on these criteria, based on these fields that you already have existence, you've already done the work, it's already there. Obviously, you want to be able to utilize it. And that's something that we really do well and give you that ability to have everything that you're creating be really useful and get it have an effectiveness and have that if you want to send it to everyone with Microsoft products, send it list to everyone with Microsoft products.
Oh, brilliant. That's excellent. So I guess another question to follow on from that, Bridget, is there the functionality for, because I guess you can sync fields between Halo and xAmplify, and you can amend the fields in xAmplify and it will dynamically update it within Halo, which is perfect because you can create a custom field in Halo for what products they own or use one of the existing fields. My question is around within xAmplify, do you have like functions for custom fields that you can create yourself?
Oh yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Everything can be created. So we have everything that you have the ability to pull in from Halo or from your CRM, anything like that, it already exists in our platform as well. Why would you want to redo something that you've already done once instead of when you can just pull it in? But you always have that freedom to create things from scratch as well.
Oh, excellent. So they can, the MSPs for context can have a list of products that they are managing for their customers' organizations, and they can sync that into xAmplify for sending out dynamic email lists with updates relating to, 3CX or something like that. That's really useful for dynamic email lists, something that we're currently working towards. But again, you guys already have that in place, which is quite good.
And then you have the ability to, within the platform, if you want to segment things out even further, we have the ability to filter and create new lists within the platform as well.
Outstanding. Awesome. Apologies, Demetrius, there. I cut you off there as well. I just jumped on that.
Hey, listen,
cool feature.
Sometimes we have to defer to our rock star Bridget, right? She gets really granular with it, right? There's a reason why I work with Bridget, right? She's the brain because I'm just a smile on the jokes.
Everybody needs a Bridget. Wonderful. Awesome. So back onto it, I was asking around about MDF funding within the platform.
Yeah, so our platform also has the capability of being able for or allowing the partner to send reporting on their marketing activities to their vendor suppliers, but also request MDF funds, right? So they can be compensated for their marketing activities. And this is whether a deal closes or not. If you're out there just marketing all month, you go to your supplier, you guys have that good relationship to say, hey, I ran like 17 marketing campaigns on your behalf. I have, 7 prospects, in the pipeline. Nothing's closed yet, but I spent X, Y, and Z amount of money in order to bring in these prospects. Can you give me some consideration? Right.
Yeah.
So in real time, the platform enables that. And we've seen it, it works for a host of partners that we currently work with, where we're able to a degree, almost play for the platform through just MDF.
Oh, brilliant. And I guess around that then, you mentioned the deal stage then. What happens, when those marketing efforts result in a deal within xAmplify?
Yeah, within xAmplify, once there's a deal once there's a deal that comes down the pipeline or comes down the funnel, you have real-time visibility. The vendor has real-time visibility to what's needed. I have a saying in business: time kills all deals. Right? If your customer has to wait a day or so for a response, they're gonna go probably shop they're gonna shop your offer sheet. They're gonna look around. They may start poking around at a competitor. So part of closing a transaction is speed, right? So when you have that customer down in the pipeline, real deep down there, coming out the funnel, right, about to sign them, you got to move quickly. So the vendor has visibility into the deal stage. You're able to communicate, even chat within the platform with the vendor, with the customer, in order to push the deal along and get it closed as soon as possible in real time.
Okay. And then I guess with that, because you mentioned like timeframes and obviously MDF funding as well, what are the kind of the reporting capabilities, what are the other kind of reporting capabilities you have relating to your data-driven decisions?
Yeah, so with the metrics and analytics, you can see who's engaging, who's not. You can see who's opening the emails, who's not. Even when you're prospecting with your like a traditional direct marketing automation, you can see who's engaging, who's opening and reading your emails, who's clicking on what they clicked on. That gives you insight into, hey, I noticed they clicked on this landing page, they're interested in X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. Let me follow up with them with A, B, and C and X, Y, and Z, right? So you have data that you can then leverage when talking to a particular prospect or a particular customer. And that same vein, you can also communicate your metrics and your analytics to your vendor. Now, what does that mean in real time, I think? And I always use the term real time because it's part of business is how do you know what you know, right? In order to move confidently in a transaction, you need to be able to double down on knowing how you know what you know. That vendor, he's talking to a host of partners, a host of customers, but when he sees your activity, your metrics, your analytics, your touch points with that end customer, he doesn't see the end customer, but he sees all those touch points.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to know, hey, there's 8 or 9 touch points with that customer. But we all know, how many touch points do you need with a customer to close a deal? At least 8 or 9. That's a hot customer, right? Let me go ahead and lean in on this partner, give him what he needs in order to close the deal. Maybe even provide him some incentivization in order to get it across the finish line in the final hour, right? So it allows for parties at every level to make data-driven decisions, right? Make intelligent decisions. How do I know that this deal's going to close? He has the touch points. I see the engagement. The analytics are there. If it looks like a duck, a walk duck, it probably is a duck, right? Let me get that analogy right.
Yeah.
I don't know where ducks come into play here, but I like to use analogies, right?
No, it sounds like you've got all your ducks in a row with the analytics anyway. I'm going to throw a curveball in as well. As you mentioned earlier relating to AI, did you say something about ChatGPT can be integrated into xAmplify? Is that correct?
So ChatGPT is within our system. So if you are a partner and you want to send out you're using it for a proprietary use case, you're marketing to prospects and current customers, and you get writer's block, we all do, right? Just throw in a little prompt, Are you looking for ABC 1, 2, and 3? I have a really great, offering for you, and it will draft an email for you.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Grammatically correct, fine punctuation.
Yeah. That's going to save me
niceties. Yeah, the works.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent. That's a nice good insight into, I guess, xAmplifying the workings as well. I can see you've got some items on there for contacting for a demo as well with a phone number on there. Is that your mobile number, Demetrius? Or
that is my mobile number. I am located in San Francisco, the Bay Area. I'm in San Francisco Bay Area, West Coast. So right now it's 9 a.m. And I know this is an international sort of meeting of the minds here on this webinar, but just keep
Yeah.
in mind that I'm a West Coast time, USA.
Well, there's 100. We had 150 attendees join the session originally, so they've all got your phone number now. So be ready for some calls. Oh, fantastic.
All right.
I guess on that note, in the kind of, we've had a lot of questions throughout, and thank you for kind of being involved, everyone who's been watching. Is there any kind of other questions anyone might have around xAmplify? Just opening up to a Q&A, as we now have reached the 30-minute mark, which is what we were aiming for the webinar. So clearly we've been having a lot of fun. But is there any questions anyone out there relating to xAmplify or even Halo, if need be? Pricing? It's a question from John.
Pricing, Bridget. High level, I think it really depends on the amount of context in your particular use case and what applications you're going to want to have access to within the platform. But traditionally for our MSPs, we like to get you in a POC first to understand what you're working on, what your goals are, what you want to scale into, and then we'll price around your individual use case.
Excellent. And John mentioned just looking at the website, it looks like it's kind of like enterprise pricing. Would you say that's correct, or how?
No, so when looking at our website, you're looking at pricing where we're mostly a lot of our end clients over the years have been really large vendors. So a lot of that pricing is reflective of people with large partner programs, right? Vendors with like thousands of partners. But for an MSP, depending on their use case, we can structure pricing around their use case, their budget, and what they're looking to do within the platform.
Okay, and I can see, I'm just looking at the pricing plans where you've got basic, essential, and enterprise, and you've got, for example, emails a month in the essential plan. Is that 250,000 as well, which seems like a lot of emails to me. Would you estimate?
As you mentioned as well, like some of the modular things as well, if there's something that you don't necessarily actually want to use, obviously why you want to pay for something that you're not going to utilize. It's always a little bit. So it's one of the reasons it's definitely useful to understand more about your specific situation, use case, and what you're looking for and how much kind of activity you're planning on doing within the platform.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. Thank you, Bridget. Awesome. Any other kind of questions, guys? Any burning questions for anyone watching the session at the moment? For the last we're aiming for the 30-minute mark, so we've done well. We're over a little bit. Any other questions, guys, for anyone? Just until we reach the 35-minute mark. Anyone want to know about my day? Anyone? No?
How's your day, Joe?
Thank you, Demetrius. It's been fantastic. All the better now I'm talking to you as well. It's a very salesy answer. Excellent. It doesn't look like any other questions are arising from the session, so I guess it's as good a time as any to call it. Everyone that's been watching today, I appreciate everyone for joining the session today to learn about xAmplify, and thank you to Demetrius, Bridget, Kusum, and Rajiv for joining us as well. I appreciate having you guys here. Moving forwards, as a call to action, you guys had their contact details on that slide as well. We can also send some contact details out via email to kind of touch base, start a demo, and go from there.
And before we drop off, I will be offering to all the people who came in to the webinar today, just reach out to us. We'll give you guys a free trial for a month, so you can get in there, get your feet wet, play with it, send out some campaigns, see the wonders it can do for you. Even play with some integrations. But yeah, I'll give you guys a free month. Contact us, reach out to us. You get a free month of the service, direct marketing automation, and we can explore how I can help you grow your business and increase your sales.
Fantastic. Appreciate that, Demetrius. I'll probably try it myself. But otherwise, thank you all for the call today, guys. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. And on to the next one. Thanks for your time.
All right.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.